There's your situation halfway through match 3 at the USBC Queens. Deandra Esbady, the number 3 seed, in control of her match with Stephanie Nation, who paid the price for a bad shot in the 4th frame. Let's go over to Kathy's corner. Kathy Doran Lizzie with our 4th place finisher, Liz Johnson.
Liz, you started out on fire. I thought for sure we were going to be presenting you with Queen's title number 2 tonight. What happened?
For as good as I bowled the first game, the second game I wasn't making shots. You know, I made maybe 5 good shots, and my bad shots I paid for.
Did you find the lanes were close enough this week here as they were at the other place?
Yeah, I was playing them pretty close. I was using a little different ball that rolled up a little sooner. Other than that, I played everything pretty much the same.
Physically, you feel good?
Yeah, physically I feel really good. I mean, I felt good about everything.
You look great as always. Congratulations. Great
Thanks a lot, Kathy.
Dave?
Thank you both very much. Liz Johnson, outstanding bowling. No question. She'll be back. Stephanie Nation now trying to overcome a 34-pin deficit. As Chris mentioned earlier, in match play, she averaged 227.5.
Come on.
Got it. A little extra punch in that one.
Good
A ball we've seen a lot today already. Another Columbia 300 Omen. A very strong cover, another high pin to flare, and this one just explodes at the pins. Finally getting on track just a little bit.
Cutting the deficit to 24.
You can see that pin right over the ring finger. That's probably about 4.5 inches, maybe 4 inches from her access point. That allowed the ball to flare as well, creating some length, a lot of flare, which will continue for a long time through the pins.
Roll, roll, roll.
Knocked the bucket out, but still, the 2-4-5 remains for Stephanie.
According to our cat status, just a little bit more than a half-board right of the last shot, which was almost perfect. I'll tell you that the lanes seem to be opening up more for Deandra as a power player than they are for the girls that are playing more direct.
How do you think that might affect the next match should Deandra advance?
Well, they're not going to get harder from Deandra at this point.
Okay.
She's going to have to move a little bit, but as long as she can give up the moves, it's pretty simple for her. Carolyn will have to navigate through a lot more traffic with the other 3 players in front of her, and it doesn't seem to be getting a lot easier for them right now.
Take a look at what Deandra has done vis-a-vis left versus right in her match and a half, or match so far.
Now, my experience through Team USA camps and different things here, most of the time the left lane, when you're playing out, is the harder lane. But we've seen more players, which Liz did struggle in the left lane, but for Deandra, it's almost flipped to where the right lane has been her tougher lane.
A kick, save, and a beauty on that 10-pin. All right, here is our special Storm Watch and Win code. Go to bowl.com/Queens and enter the code for the chance to win free Storm merchandise. There it is, right there on your screen. And that's a beautiful tiara, a beautiful trophy, and also a nice check that goes along with being a major champion. $20,000. Just smothered that 4-pin. Swatted that thing aside.
It's pretty interesting to note the 2 different strategies. While the straight players are having a hard time getting the ball to hook on that left lane on lane 7, which we've seen a lot through our camps. Deandra, on the other hand, her ball is hooking more on the left lane. They talked in the break with her reps, Del Ballard and Chris Schlemmer, about moving a little bit left. She moved 1. She's going to have to move another one here pretty soon, or she's going to go high in that lane.
5 straight strikes for her. And Stephanie Nation gets the 10 to go down. Last year's U.S. Women's Open had it all. The largest crowd ever to attend a bowling competition, the largest venue ever in U.S. bowling history at Cowboy Stadium, an incredible competition culminating in a win by Leanne Hulsenberg. She hadn't won in over 10 years. But even she was overshadowed by the antics of her 2-year-old son, Barrett. He became a national sensation and made for a great event. So how can you top that this year? How about an outdoor competition under the Reno Arch? The competition gets underway. Yeah, the Reno Arch. June 21st, televised finals on ESPN2. July 3rd at 8 o'clock. That is going to be outrageous. That is a Greek church. And that might do it.
Yeah, that will end Stephanie's day, unfortunately. This is just a little bit of move right off the light shot last time. She liked it off her hand, and according to Cat's data, it was a really good shot as well for the Greek church. I think for Carolyn to have any chance, she's going to have to move into the track, into that area between 10 and 15, where she's crossing the arrows around the 12th board. She's going to have to take all her touch because it's going to be mano a mano, I guess, to Deandra's power from the same spot. And now we're going to see a ball change by Deandra. She's going to get a little bit different look at something else. This is going to be a critical theory. Like roto grip.
At this point, her score doesn't matter. She's already moving on.
Just looking for something to solve the combination on that right lane, and that ball is trying to hook back through the pin, so that's what she's looking for.
So she gets a 6th straight strike as a bonus, and she will take on Carolyn Doran Ballard in our next match.
Trip the 4 right into the 9.
Everything going her way right now.
She might need to save just a little bit of that. Got a pretty cagey veteran coming next.
She has got it going on right now. Well, Deandra, we mentioned in the top first match, she got on the show in 2007, was the #1 seed, lost to Kelly Kulick, but in doing so rolled a 147. So we had a chance to ask her, what did she learn from that very difficult experience?
It would mean everything. All of the hours of practice that I've put in, all the coaches that have helped me along the way. I'm not here because of putting myself in this position. I'm here because of all of the help that I had along the way. So, you know, winning this title means lots of people win this title because it's because of them that I'm able to be in this position.
At this point, she could throw a marble down there and knock down 10. She could end up with a 270 here.
It's a little more aggressive cover and it's allowed her to move a little deeper on the lane. This is not great news for CDB that she's getting a few free shots to line up.
So I guess the big discussion in between, my goodness, this is just ridiculous. The big discussion now for her and her ball reps is going to be, what are we going to roll in that championship match?
I think she's going to roll the ball she just threw the last couple frames because it looks so much better on the right lane. If it doesn't strike a couple of times on the left lane, she might go back to that same marble pearl, but she's definitely going to throw it on the right lane, in my opinion.
Stephanie Nation's Queens will conclude with a 3rd place finish, her best ever. This is the first time she's made the Queens television show. She's been on the U.S. Women's Open show 3 times, may well make it again this year when we go into Reno. So a great run for Stephanie has come to an end, and I'm sure her big sister Ruby is watching today. Stephanie very involved in Big Brother's Big Sister, still very proud of her big sister Stephanie.
Does a lot of work, helps out a lot with our charity as well, JDRF. She'll be back full force next Labor Day in 2013 when the Queens happens again.
Just like every time.
In Vegas. Yeah, I think this, great learning experience for her, dealing with the television at this environment, and every
Mom,
reason.
Dad, I'll see you tomorrow.
Well, a nice finish. That'll be a little bit of a better taste in Stephanie Nation's mind there than in the middle where she struggled. But again, she got beat by a 270. Not a lot you can say about that. Deandra Esbady has been dominant in 2 straight matches She's going to advance to the championship against the veteran, the experienced and successful Carolyn Doran Ballard. You think you know CDB? You're going to learn a lot more about one of the great players of all time when we return. The USBC Queens Final is coming up.